This is going to be a brief demonstration of a brand new feature that we're releasing in the Fuuz platform for anyone subscribing to the enterprise or adaptive level tier subscriptions. You're going to have access to this tool set very soon. So we want to get this out there and give you a brief tutorial of some of the features and benefits that this can offer to you and your team as you're working through extending your enterprise applications. So first, the layout. On the left-hand side, we have the toolbox, which consists of all of our screen layout tools, inputs, and interactions down here. In the center, we have the canvas. This is where you'll be designing the user interface. And on the right-hand side is where you can edit the properties of each of the components and take a look at your layers, and you can move things around in drag and drop fashion. So this is flexible, so I can get as much design space as I need based on what I'm trying to work on. At the top here we have our file menu, so we can create a new, open from our full list of screens, or open one of the recent screens that we've been working on. We can also import and export screen designs, making it very easy to move these in between various tenants that you might have. So if you build a HMI, for example, in one tenant and you want to share that between multiple tenants on the platform, it's extremely easy to do. Standard edit menu. The view menu allows you to toggle on or off the toolbox and the property editor. The designer tab gives you the ability to run the screen. So in your designing process, you have the ability to see the screen in action as the end users would see it as well. And then, of course, our standard help, which will take you to our knowledge base and give you some tutorials about how to get started, best practices, and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start a new screen. You'll see at the top it says I have a new screen, version 0.0.1. As you may or may not know, our system on the front end handles all of the DevOps activities for you. Even as a citizen developer, you don't need to worry about versioning and deployments. That's all built into the process. We handle that for you transparently behind the scenes. So I'm going to go to the left-hand side now, and first I'm going to drag out a container. So containers are the building blocks of screens. Containers are essentially components that allow us to define overall size, length, width, and height, as well as padding, margins. I can change the colors. I can change a number of features about this. And if I'm a developer or a more advanced IT person, I also have some pro code options down here, which gives me even more flexibility. This is really important to note because we're the only no-code platform available that extends more capabilities to your more advanced users. So you're not stuck with just what your basic no-code tools can give you out of the box. I have a container here. I'm going to start a form, and then within that form I can have multiple containers. So I can start to get pretty advanced with the structure and the layout if I need to, based on what it is that I'm trying to design. So once I get to this point, and again, I can have multiple containers out here, and I can start to really build this design out nice. And as you notice, various overlapping capabilities, so I can build pretty comprehensive screens, even e-commerce pages and things like that. And I can have graphics that overlay over top of each other and all sorts of different features. So now that I'm to this point, I'm going to go ahead and insert a checkbox, color picker. We'll display some text. And once I select one of these input components, you'll notice on the right-hand side that now I have the ability to modify these inputs. So this is going to be text display. So maybe this is going to be a product ID field. And I want my label displayed to the user to be product. Data path is going to allow me to link this to the database. So if you're already using our system, you're familiar for sure with our schema designer, where I can tell it where I want the data displayed here to come from, or where I want it to be stored to. I can adjust things like full width, padding, and then down here I get more inputs for more of my advanced editing around this. So if I want to have specific formatting or regex controls over how this is displayed, so on and so forth, I can add validation. I can add some localization text. So if I'm building a screen for my users in Mexico or Germany, I can handle all of that. And then I can link actions and prompts to this as well on click functions. And then down here, of course, we have our Pro Code tools. So if you're familiar with our system and you've been through our training, sky's the limit as far as what you can do with these screen builders. The layers option allows me to view my design in its layers. So similar to something like Photoshop or any of those types of tools, if you've ever used them, now I can see the structure of my screen as I'm building it out. You'll notice that as I hover over these different layers, it's highlighting that particular component. So I can click on checkbox, highlights checkbox, go back to the designer, and now I'm editing my checkbox feature. So this is all very good. One thing we want to point out is what makes our screen builder different than everybody else is we're not just a single column or dual column screen builder like all the other tools out there. They're very simplistic and allow you to do very simple forms or even simpler grids. Our tool gives you the ability to get quite advanced with your layouts. So building operator interfaces, for example, HMIs or warehouse management tools often requires that you have fairly complicated screens with multiple form inputs, pulling data from multiple different places within Fuuz or other systems as well. So don't forget that with our adaptive tier platform, we have full integration suite where you get access to the entire iPaaS capabilities. So you can pull data and manipulate data from these screens that you build in any other system that you're currently using. So this has just been a brief overview of this new tool. Again, this will be coming out to users very soon. It's already in beta. We're using it internally, and we're excited to release this out so that our customers have even more design flexibility in how you build graphical interfaces for your users. We will be continually deploying new enhancements and updates to the screen designer throughout 2022, including several additional layout components, inputs, and interaction options. We have a lot of things in the works for this, and we're very excited about it. It's super flexible, and it's just so much more powerful than anything else that we have used or seen in the market, that we're really excited for our customers to be able to get their hands on this and start changing the way they do business. Thank you.